Tag TV brings you daily news bulletin from India. Breaking news and views from India.
You're watching South Asia Newsline, and here are the top stories we are tracking for you on Tuesday, the 6th of May. Pakistan tests missile, India orders drills amid Kashmir standoff. Russian president to visit India tells PM Modi Pahalgam attackers must be brought to justice. And Hindu monk Chinmoy Das shown arrested in lawyer murder case in Bangladesh. And now for all the details, India and Pakistan are once again in the spotlight as missile test and civil defense drills fuel fears of escalating tensions between the two long-time rivals. We have a report.
The latest escalation between nuclear-armed neighbors India and Pakistan has heightened fears of a confrontation, with Pakistan conducting its second missile test in 3 days on Monday, while India ordered several states to conduct security drills in response to rising tensions over a deadly attack in India's Jammu and Kashmir. On Monday, Pakistan Army announced the successful test of a Fatah series surface-to-surface missile with a range of 120 kilometers, just 2 days after testing the Abdali surface-to-surface ballistic missile, which has a range of 450 kilometers. Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif said the successful test launch made it clear that Pakistan's defense is in strong hands. As Pakistan adopts an aggressive approach, India has directed several states to undergo mock security drills on Wednesday to ensure civil preparedness. As per a government release, the drill, which is the first of its kind after 1971 Indo-Pak War, will be conducted across 259 districts, which includes capital New Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, and border districts on the Western Front. Government sources have indicated the mock drill will assess and coordinate civil defense preparedness amid heightened tensions.
क्योंकि मिनिस्ट्री की तरफ से ये हमें गाइडलाइंस आ रही हैं कि बच्चों को कैसे प्रोटेक्ट करना है, वो आपने उनको टाइम टू टाइम गाइडलाइन, जैसे सायरन बज रहा है तो आपने अपना आप को छुपाना है. अगर जैसे हमें टाइम मिलता है, मीनवाइल हम भी बच्चों को सेव करने की कोशिश करेंगे. अगर सपोज उसी समय की कंडीशन ऐसी आ रही हैं तो बच्चा कैसे अपने आप को सिक्योर करेगा, वो हम उनको जानकारी दे रहे हैं.
Meanwhile, credit ratings agency Moody's has issued a stark warning about the economic fallout for Pakistan. It stated that sustained escalation in tensions with India would likely weigh on Pakistan's growth and hamper the government's ongoing fiscal consolidation, setting back Pakistan's progress in achieving macroeconomic stability. Pakistan's $350 billion economy, which secured a $7 billion IMF bailout in 2024 to avert a default, could see its access to external financing impaired and its foreign exchange reserves strained if tensions persist. In contrast, India's economy, with minimal economic relations with Pakistan, is expected to remain largely unaffected, though increased defense spending could slow New Delhi's fiscal consolidation, Moody's added.
And as Pakistan called for an emergency closed-door meeting with the United Nations Security Council over the escalating border tensions with India, the agenda resulted in grandstanding flop, yielding no outcome as desired by Islamabad. According to sources, during the 90 minutes long meeting on Monday, members of the Council raised concerns over Pakistan's escalating nuclear rhetoric and recent missile test, which they said contributed to regional instability. Members also rejected Islamabad's narrative of Pahalgam terror attack being a false flag operation, asking for accountability in the wake of the attack. Pakistan, which is currently a non-permanent member of the Council, was also questioned about the involvement of Lashkar-e-Taiba, a Pakistan-based proscribed terror organization, in the April 22 terror attack. Sources have indicated some members specifically brought up targeting of tourists on the basis of their religious faith. Notably, it is not the first time Pakistan has used the global forum against India whenever tension escalates with its neighbor. In 2019, when India abrogated Article 370, Islamabad had sought to internationalize the matter, only to be diplomatically outmaneuvered by India. Moving on, Russian President Vladimir Putin on Monday accepted the invitation of coming to India by Prime Minister Narendra Modi after both the leaders held a phone call. The Russian president is expected to visit India for the annual summit between both countries later this year. Putin earlier condemned the Pahalgam terror attack, calling it a brutal crime and reiterated Russia's support in fighting against terrorism with India. Both leaders emphasized that relations between Russia and India were not affected by external influence and would continue to develop dynamically. PM Modi visited Russia twice last year, one for the annual summit with President Putin and the second trip to attend the BRICS summit in Kazan. Moving on, journalists in Gilgit-Baltistan are raising alarm over increasing threats and lack of protection. With no legal safeguards and many working without pay, they face mounting pressure from state institutions for simply reporting the truth. A report.
Journalists in Pakistan-occupied Gilgit-Baltistan, despite exposing corruption and injustice, face severe financial and institutional pressure, often working without pay, benefits or legal protection. A senior journalist said, government institutions are key sources of harassment. When corruption is exposed, officials use public resources to file defamation cases to silence journalists, he said. With most journalists unpaid and only a few TV channels offering salaries, many remain vulnerable to exploitation and corruption.
तो इस तरह का एक प्रेशर ग्रुप्स है, लेकिन ताबूस के लिए कोई इदारा नहीं। गिलगित बल्तिस्तान असम्बली है, लेकिन असम्बली में भी कोई उनकी दिलचस्पी नहीं है साथियों की प्रोटेक्शन के हवाले से, क्योंकि हुकूमत अपने लिए सहाफ़त को, हर हुकूमत जिस पार्टी की भी हुकूमत हो, वो अपने लिए सहाफ़ियों को अपने लिए थ्रेट समझती है, इसलिए कि उन पर उनसे मुतालिक जो है अहम इंफॉर्मेशन जो इनके गैर कानूनी काम है या उनके मन की जो सरगर्मियाँ होती हैं उसको वो उजागर करते हैं, तो वो भी अपने दुश्मन समझते हैं। तो इस वजह से सहाफ़ियों को जो प्रोटेक्शन अपने लिए खतरा समझते हैं, जिसकी वजह से गिलगित बल्तिस्तान में आज तक जो गिलगित बल्तिस्तान की असम्बली है, सहाफ़ियों के हक़ में कोई एक कानून या पॉलिसी बना सके।
Ali warned that the lack of support is leading to enveloped journalism, that is, bribes for favorable coverage. Press freedom advocates urge reforms, including minimum wage enforcement, legal protections, and accountability for state harassment. Despite the challenges, journalists in Gilgit-Baltistan remain committed to reporting the truth.
And in a controversial judicial move, a court in Chittagong has shown arrested Hindu monk Chinmoy Krishnadas, implicating him in 4 murder cases, just days after the Bangladesh High Court granted him bail in a high-profile sedition case. Das was originally arrested on November 25 last year for allegedly disrespecting the national flag, charges his lawyers claim are politically motivated. The new murder charges include the killing of lawyer Saiful Islam Alif, who died during a protest on November 26, demanding Das's release. Attackers armed with sharp weapons remain unidentified, deepening the case's communal and political overtones. Das's legal team has accused the state of using fabricated charges to delay his release, despite the High Court's bail order. The case has ignited concerns over minority persecution in Bangladesh. Neighboring India, which has previously raised concern over the treatment of minorities, especially Hindus in Bangladesh, is reportedly monitoring the situation closely. And polling opened in Sri Lanka on Monday for the delayed local council elections, seen as a major electoral test for ruling National People's Power, led by President Anurakumara Dissanayake. Over 17.1 million voters are eligible to vote to elect 8,287 members of 339 local government bodies at 13,759 polling stations, election officials said. Over 75,000 candidates from 49 political parties and 257 independent groups are in the fray. The elected candidates will be appointed for a 4-year term. This would be the first electoral test for the current government, led by President Dissanayake, since it won the presidential and parliamentary elections in the last quarter of 2024. The last local elections were held in the country in 2018. However, the next local elections were postponed due to political unrest caused by the economic crisis in 2022. The elections were postponed twice in 2023, even after the dates were announced by the Election Commission. Dissanayake narrowly won the September presidential election, with just 42% of the vote, and then led his NPP to resounding victory in the parliamentary election that followed in November. That's all in tonight's edition. We will see you same time tomorrow. Good night.
Tag TV brings you daily news bulletin from India. Breaking news and views from India.